Welcome to Spiritual Dessert Trews 11. I am still working on the book of life. On a dreamy August morning before it's dawn, it's a beautiful day. Why not bring the red notebook and join me at the beach? When I got there, the pink sky, orange streaks gave way to Billy's ethereal white-robed glory. I like the idea of a bad boy brother. It's a good day where you are, my sister. Every day is a good day here, although they really aren't days and nights. But I don't miss them. I don't miss a thing. One of the things I certainly don't miss is being concerned about the way I look. Here, I just look myself, and that's great. There are no pretensions or efforts to appear any which way. I just radiate, which is effortless. Since I'm made of light, I don't have organs or blood or anything like that. No knee problems, no liver problems, no drug problems, no weight problems. I don't have a home either, except my light body. Sometimes I leave my light body and I go back to becoming the universe. I let go and I do some more blending into the cosmic energy field. I guess you could say it's a bit like human sleeping because they're both about letting go. But really, there's no comparison. Because becoming the universe is sheer ecstasy, and sleeping is hit or miss. On Earth, you need day and night, sleeping and waking, birth and death. You need to know what today may have been difficult, tomorrow could be better. You may have messed up the day, or the day may have messed you up. But you can go to sleep and wake up and maybe feel like you have a fresh start. Death gives you a fresh start, just like sleep does. We don't usually think of death as a start, but that's what it is. Whatever so-called mistakes you've made, it doesn't matter now, because there's always another chance, another lifetime, even to try something different. So don't worry. So-called mistakes are okay. That's why I like my mistakes. They're just part of the deal. After you're dead, everything is actually more alive. Take, for instance, my book of life, given to me by Joseph, the dazzling silver-haired man I met under the white sphere. Although I'm calling it a book, it doesn't have pages and words. It's more like an oscillating rainbow. I'm calling it a book because that implies gathering together of information. Also, the book of life has a really nice ring to it. Before each soul comes to earth, its own personal edition of the book of life is written. Life on your planet is about how dramas change you. Isn't it funny that most people are scared of change when change is the double fudge frosting on top of the icing of cake of life? And although much of your life is planned out, there's a lot of freedom inside that plan. Circumstances, like lines in a kid's coloring book, but instead of ink, the lines are penciled in. They're erasable. As you color in the spaces, you influence the lines. Reading my book of life is different from watching my hologram. There's no analyzing going on. Joseph and I are looking at how the particular colors I chose shaped my life. Joseph looks like a human being, but he's made out of light like me. I don't think he's an embodiment of one of the higher beings I spoke about before. My sense is he's working under the umbrella of the benevolence. Joseph's better looking than the best looking actor you've ever seen. His face has experience and goodness etched right into it. His attitude about everything is not at all serious. It's lighthearted and wise. I don't know if everyone here sees things the way Joseph does, because they haven't come across any other locals so far. But I can tell you that Joseph's perspective is perfect for me. Even though Joseph knows so much more than I do, he doesn't impose rules or give me opinions unless I ask. He doesn't dominate me in any way. Not like the lady with the news earlier. There's so much influence from others when you're on Earth, but in a way, you don't get to live your own life. You get to live your own life after you're dead. That's exactly what Joseph... What? What exactly does Joseph do? The best thing he does is love me unconditionally. On Earth, people talk about unconditional love. But until you've actually been loved that way, it's impossible to understand the power of it. It goes way beyond acceptance, because acceptance implies that you like some parts of me and not others. But I accept all of it. To Joseph, everything about me is extraordinary. What an experience. I really didn't do a bad job on Earth with the circumstances I chose. They weren't easy circumstances. A lot of my life was preparing me for my new job, writing this book with you. It's hard to help others if you don't understand their frustrations, their disappointments, their fears, their desires, their greatness. You can't really put yourself in someone else's shoes unless you stood where they're standing. I stood in a multitude of places, played a lot of different roles in my time. The addict, the philosopher, the healer, the scoundrel, the do-gooder, the do-badder. My personal favorite, the bad boy saint. I don't mean to imply in any way that I was a saint. Just that although I did my share of unconventional things that were against the law even, my heart and soul were always reaching for something wonderful. Helping others was always my favorite thing. Although I never finished high school and I was always a good talker, I was always sincere. I used those gifts in my finest hours. Remember when I ran a drug center for young teenagers? I loved those kids, and they knew it. After that, I got to live out my lawyerly ambitions, my favorite job of all time. Working as a liaison in New York City courts, helping people who got arrested for drug crimes. I pleaded their cases, and I tried to persuade the judges to sentence them to drug centers instead of prison. Of course, that was before I went to jail myself. I'm honored that my edition of the Book of Life contains these writings I'm placing in your charge. As you may have figured out, I've become sort of a helping soul again. I hope through these pages people will realize they're not alone. I hope they will feel their immortality, even for a fraction of a second, so they can lose some of their own fear of dying. Then, not only will they have a more terrific death, they'll always also have a better life. And did I mention that within these pages there's light? Oh, I'm sending a star today. Yeah, so you know how he ended up sending the star? She goes to get her hair cut. She shows up at this thing and sits down. And Billy says, "Why don't you make your hair the color of Lena Olins, the actress?" Ha ha ha. I laughed as I walked into the salon. "What do you know about hair color, Billy?" Ha! While I waited at the colorist's chair, a woman sat down next to me. I felt a strange magnetic pull in her direction, so I turned my head to look. There sat Lena! Ah ha ha ha! Billy had literally sent me a star. That was the end. I need a song. It can't be dun 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 because we heard that before. Rubber Bandit, you could help me. Where did you go?